5 button. That's really going to help. And come back to here.
1, 2, 3, check.
Yo, 1, 2.
1, 2,
check,
1, 2, check.
when I used to, we're live. Yay.
Wait.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, everyone. Live from planet Earth.
Yay.
Jon Binnie and Nela. Namaste and blessings. It's so good to see you, Jon.
It's so amazing to see you.
Yeah.
And, every dimension of you.
Yes, every dimension. I like that. Ooh, that can be like a love song, man.
That's right.
Ooh, I'm feeling it. I can hear it already.
And I was just thinking, have I already written it? I don't know.
I think maybe we already did in another, dimension of existence. It's pretty, I like it. I like it.
That's a great idea.
So how are you? How's it going?
I'm amazing, thank you. It's like so much is happening in my life, like all at the same time, and I just feel it's definitely a mix of excitement and then sometimes just facing some of those fears. But they're much shorter lived now. It's like I see you, fear, and then like I'm gonna face you, and then I'm like, oh, do I really have to? And then I just go through it, and I feel like that process is speeding up like a quickening. How about you? How are you doing?
I feel the same way. I do find myself surfing pretty big waves. And they're taking me, and they're like beating me up, and then I come back and I'm like, okay, I take it, man. And I keep going. So I find myself navigating waves of challenging situations, but also challenging emotions too. But it's just it's like I have surrendered so much. It's like, you know what I mean? I just surrendered that I am where I need to be. And I am feeling very delightful. Like I continue to say, doesn't matter what's happening outside, the chaos, what's happening in the world, right? I can only control how I want to perceive things, right? My perception and my perspective. PMP, people. I want you to think about that. So every time when there's fear happening, when there's people coming at you, situations, and there's so much change, right? It's like we're so wide open, vulnerable, the unknown. There's excitement, right? There's maybe sometimes expectations, and so I just find myself freaking open and like, okay, man, is that every time, like you said, that you talk to your fears, I do the same. And I said, well, with what's happening in my life right now, how do I want to perceive this event, right? Do I want to go feed the darkness? Do I want to feed the faith, the hope, the trust that I know that everything is happening for me, not to me, right?
Yeah. I love that. And many people, I've heard them speaking recently about some of the kind of energetic and like dimensional changes that are going on with the planet. I've heard some people say things like whatever thought, feeling, action you have now is amplified. And also, as we were chatting earlier in my meditation today, I heard about the choice between the third dimension and the fifth dimension is your choice. And so it's all about your choices in those feelings and thoughts and actions. And I find that really exciting. Like one of my big fears that I came over, I faced last week was going on the I don't know if you got a chance to see on the replay, but going live with Shane at Unbiased on the Fence. So I followed for years, and I went live to do darkness clearing and healing, and it was like I've only seen Jean, who's an amazing psychic. In fact, she's been on the channel loads, and she was a big inspiration to me, because I thought, there's someone just, she would describe herself as starting out, and I thought, there's a beautiful soul stepping into her power and just seeing what happens. Like, whoever comes in the chat, just, they would just ask questions, and she would do like a reading in it. And it was incredible to see, because it made me think, I wonder how I could do something like that. And when I finally plucked up the courage, I thought, well, I've been doing enough of these sessions now, one-to-one, and I've done a couple of group sessions. I thought, maybe I could do that too. And it's so funny, because my ego's like, Jon, you're not a psychic. It's like, there's no way this is going to work. You're going to like go there.
What?
And Shane's going to be like, oh, Jon, just play some music after a few minutes. Or I don't know, like, what's all the worst that could happen? Like, loads of people could come on, I just go blank, or
Damn.
or given the nature of the work, you'd be like, wow, there's like, I'm sorry, you have too many demons for me to deal with. It's like all these things just going through my head, but I just knew, it's like, it's good. It's good. I see the fear. Like, that's really good for me, because I know that means I'm on the right path. It means that it is something I should definitely do. And when I went on the show, of course, very much like the kind of surrendering to stepping into making that choice and going, this is the 5D version of me. This is Jon, who also has psychic gifts, and saying, this is me. And I've also heard people recently talking about the you don't manifest your dream, like behave and call yourself and use the words that you are your dream. You are the highest timeline version of yourself, and say it out loud. So if someone asks me, hey, what do I do? Like, don't say just my day job. Say, I'm like, I have psychic gifts. I'm like a darkness clearer and healer. I'm a musician. I'm like a channeler. And I also do some other stuff in the 3D world. Some software development and stuff like that. But describe yourself as you'd like to be seen. And so, I felt like I was very much embodying that version of me. So I was so delighted with both the people that joined in, and the relief that it went well.
Yeah.
And every interaction was incredible. It was just, every single person I connected with just blew my mind. Like, the messages, Shane and I were just we were laughing afterwards. Like, after each connection, they were just so powerful.
That's amazing, and I'm so proud of you. I got to watch just a little bit, but I felt you, and it is so inspiring to get to see, you stepping into your power and really just freaking finding trust and within yourself, and just knowing that the divine, that your spirit team will be there, and your soul family, we're here, like, it's like, it's just so powerful, and it's so beautiful, and it's so freeing, right? It's so freeing to be able to step in the outside world and say, oh, what do you do? Like you said, like, and just say, yeah, I'm a psychic. I do readings. I do this. I banish spirits. I'm also seeing, like, the many phases of you, right? It's just the multidimensional selves just showing up and honoring each of them without having to feel embarrassed or caring about what people are going to say. And it's crazy, because our ego and our fears of judgment and all of that creates stories about how people are going to talk behind your back and they're going to see you. You know what I mean? Which in reality, we have no control over how people are going to see you, perceive you, what they think, man. But most of the time, every time you step into, when you release the stories of the ego selves, right? Those identities that we create, the story, the soap operas. I call it novelas in Spanish, it's a novela. They're soap operas, man. And then you get to actually do those things, and then here you find yourself laughing about it. And how freeing and amazing just the experience is and will always be for you, right? Like you will be able to remember that moment. And I really like what you said about we are the dream, because we are right here, right now. We are, and we have everything that we need. But I mean, there's work, right, that we have been doing, and it's challenging. There's a reason why we are here doing it, right? There's a reason, because the old programmings and how we have been affected by the words and the perceptions and interpretations of others since freaking creation, right?
Yeah, that's so true.
We believe other people beliefs and perspectives and how they interpret their life. And so, and here we are, so yeah, I'm with you. And you're like triggering me because you know that I'm about to start like doing my thing too. And I'm like, I find out myself that this belief that Nela, you need to know more, you need to practice more, you have to do more. Nela, no, you're not gonna know the message. You're like you said, the everything, my ego self, the part of me that like keeping me in my comfort zone. You need to know more. Next week, no, in 2 more days. And then there's 2 more days, and then something happened. Oh, see, it was not meant to happen. And you just justify why you're not doing it just to keep it,
That's so true.
And that's what I find myself right now. You know what I mean? Like, I know that I am freaking ready. And there's so many synchronicities, right? They're like,
that's right, constantly.
right? But the ego self is like, okay, no, I just want to hold on to just 1 more day. Just 1 more day. I'm not
tomorrow.
ready. Yeah. And then the expectations we put in ourselves that we have to be masters of everything.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to perform, when in reality, the moment you step and you take a chance and you take a leap of faith, you grow with the experience, and then you move forward and you continue to go. So
that's
yeah,
so true.
man.
And I used to like describe it as like on the job training, but it's bigger, right? Which is like, imagine a job that no one's done before.
Yeah.
And then you have to learn it, and you immediately are a master. Like you came into this lifetime already a master. Mm-hmm. And so when you show up to do something, what you're really doing is just allowing those gifts to like just come through into that moment. And that is so true. Like when I started out in darkness clearing healing, I just had no idea what a session would even be like. I just didn't know. Like I knew it was a thing I was meant to do, but I had no idea. And the first few I did, every single one is different. But I don't know. I just thought, well, I think I'm meant to like send golden light to them. So that's what I did. Like the first couple of times, and I don't know what happened, but within the first couple of times, not only did the kind of client, like they were friends, and many still are friends that I'm doing it with, mm-hmm. But they just felt, they said, I saw it, like I saw the golden light, and it felt amazing. Yeah. I was like, oh, did you? And then as I started doing it a bit more, I was like, oh, I can see their spirit guides. I think that's a spirit guide. I don't really know what they look like. And then and then of course you see all these huge variations and everything, right? Like I've seen, like there was one spirit guide who was just a cloud, like this kind of energy cloud. And I just said to them, is it okay if you like appear humanoid? Like that'd be really helpful for me, because I can't. And so I can't talk to clouds.
I don't want to talk to a cloud. I don't speak cloud language. What is it? Rain? Rain? Lightning!
I'm picking up on rain. So yeah, I absolutely love that. Like I love that it's on the job training. And you taught me a really valuable lesson. I think it was after the first Synergy Live we did. You just said to me afterwards, you said, John, remember that feeling. Remember it in your heart. How does it feel right now? Like right now, how does that feel? And it's just like, I'm so excited I could cry.
Yeah,
That's how it felt. And then every time there's like a fear of something that I'm going to do, and then I feel you get a little bit of a glimpse, right? There's always that kind of divine sparks, like the other side of this demon that's like blocking your doorway to your dreams. It's like, go away, you're worthless, you know. And on the other side, you can just hang on, I can see like a little divine spark there. And the demon's like, that's not a divine spark, go away. You know, it's me
I'm blocking it.
farting.
I'm blocking it from you. I'm blocking
right,
it from you. You're like, oh, I see it. It's right there.
You can feel it in my heart. And yeah, when you like, you know that it's right for you, because first of all, there's like fear there. And then you also know that it's really exciting because there's this tiny little bit of excitement. It's like, what if I did that thing? What if I actually just went through it? And because you also taught me, like, when it's not working, those things don't exist. You just get this like, it's like, I don't know, maybe after, I think every day I've been uploading songs to TikTok for, I don't know, like 6 months. And I was like, I can't even remember why I'm doing this. And nothing much is happening. And I then tried with a couple of people, but why am I really doing it? And I thought, I don't really need to do it right now. Like, I can just like focus on YouTube, and then even Instagram, I don't need to do it every day. And it just thought, well, if it's like, I'm always really excited about posting on YouTube. And it's such a great community. And Instagram connects with beautiful souls like you.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know, stuff that's not working. It just kind of like, you try it and then you're like, oh, there's no real spark here yet. I can come back to it if it feels right again.
It's just oh my God, yeah, and it's funny, not funny, there's no coincidence, but I was thinking about TikTok today, man. It is like I found myself doing it, and then I'm like, well, I'm helping people and all of that, but and then I like YouTube better than I like Instagram better too. And it's like, if it's like you said, you know, I was telling myself, like, it takes a lot of work, and it's just like, I'm not feeling it. There's a reason. Maybe I'm not meant to be there, right? There's clearly everything is letting me know, because I have been working on TikTok even before Instagram, and it's not been a long time. So I feel that if we just put so much resistance when clearly the messages are here that is not the way to go, but it's also used as a distraction. So now, because you know, I'm working with the website and everything coming for me on my side, right? I'm freaking out a little bit, like you are, like you were, sorry.
Still do.
but you know, it's like we are integrating past life gifts. They're also combined with the Akashic, you know, from this life. It's being all freaking integrated, right? And then our ego selves that always have done everything alone think that you're gonna go step and do something, work for the divine, and you think you're doing it alone, right? And that's where we need to remember that we're not alone. We have a team working with us here that will always show up. So its spirit will always show up, and it is magical, like you said, when you start to see and get people telling you, I saw it, you know, it's like that has already been planned, and they are gonna back you up. But it's normal, you know, we are overcoming our fears, and then overcoming the limiting beliefs, right? That we are doing things alone. And of course that creates and trigger within us fear, right? What if I'm going to do this and then I'm not going to know? You know, I make so many stories about me in reading cards. I said, I'm not doing tarot. I'm not doing tarot. I'm not doing tarot. And you know, I don't want to do tarot. Well, because when I go read the book, the description, the someone, you know, who made the cards, and it doesn't say the same words. So I would like, so I was like, you see, Nela? My ego, right? My ego self, the one that wants to keep me in my comfort zone. Say, you see, the description doesn't match what you said. But then when I already channeled for that person, they were like, yes, everything you told me is true. It was there. So it's just like, am I gonna hear the story of my ego self that wants to match what somebody else channel about a tarot card? Or am I gonna trust someone who says, thank you so much, you just gave me the message I needed it, and it was meant for me, I felt it, you know? So here all of us are being triggered by all of that, right? So the importance to understand that all of us are going through that, where we are, the ego selves, identities are like talking to us, right? And then you just have to be like, okay, I hear you, but no, I'm not doing it. It's freaking funny, man. It's funny,
so funny.
But it is
I see
triggering.
like, and I see like, we were saying this, like, I see two worlds at the moment. And like the 3D paradigm that we're used to, which it's comfort, and it's like our ego's pretty happy there. And it has all these old paradigms, you know, like systems and, you know, job titles and, you know, things
The
that you can
stories
go, oh,
match.
yeah, I'm one of those. And I did, like I did a client's reading recently, and I saw that they one of their roles was helping bridge the two dimensions from 3D into 5D. And it's a huge, like, energetic, job that they have. They were their kind of angelic soul was here at the start of the creation of planet Earth and connecting Gaia into source. Like that was their job, like this huge pillar of light. And when we saw the two worlds, like they were separate, and that they're now like this, like overlapping and sitting over each other, and that actually, and a lot of it's to do with, like, it's having a physical effect on Gaia, like Gaia's like shaking more, and that we kind of switch between the two. And I feel like my behavior switches between the two quite a lot as well. So
Yeah.
like one example I was going through was at the weekend, I was trying to get my website to work, to like, I've been trying for a while to get it to work with like donations, right? So I'm trying to figure out the 3D versions of me, like, hey John, you got to charge everyone, and you've got to like, they've got to pay for everything, you know, like,
yeah.
if you're gonna survive, like you're gonna die unless they pay everything. And then the 5D versions of me is like, who knows what it's gonna be like, John? It's just gonna be magical. And I'm like,
Believe in magic,
right.
John.
Magic.
Trust me.
It's going to be beautiful. You're going to love it. And it's all going to feel right. And you don't need to understand it. And people will just understand it too. And I'm like, and my ego's like, make them pay. And the other one's like, no, give it for free. Or sometimes accept payments. You choose. And that choice, I definitely keep reflecting between the two. And I remember I was like typing on a website, like, hey, if you want to do this, do that, do this, do that. And then it's like this big page of text, like no one's going to read it. So then just like went down to like, follow your heart, and it's like you can just do the rest yourself. And that feels like, as well as just, I've also just been saying to people, hey, like, I'd love to give you a free reading, like, because some people won't always come and ask. And I said, you just go and book it when you want. Like, there's the link. You can just do it yourself. There's no pressure. It's an unlimited, unconditional gift. So yeah, it's really interesting making those choices to choose the highest version of you.
I already have some ideas for you when it comes to that are pretty. There needs to be a marriage and a reality check too, right? There needs to be the intuitive side of us thinking, and then the other part that is human, that is have to go through the experience, that has a family, that have bills, get sick and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I feel that it needs to be always the flow of giving and receiving. And I have some ideas for you. We can talk about it later. About that, this always, I feel like you cannot get lost on either dimension. There needs to be always balance to giving and receiving. And something that I have learned is the universe is organized, man. The universe is so organized. It's organized. Yeah. So, like I said, we have to marriage the two worlds. Mm-hmm. The two, we need to learn how to navigate and also how to operate with people. And there's way to do things. But yes, I'm with you right there, because I have been thinking, am I charging a lot? Then I go check some other people. They're like a lot more. Like they're selfish. But then my other, no, yeah. They say my 5D is like, it's okay, it's based on their value. And then my ego is like, so what's your value? Is less? Yeah. You see, you need to learn more. You need to learn more. What? Yeah. Nela, listen to your heart, because not everybody have the money. So how are you gonna do it? But Nela, how are you gonna pay all the shit you need to pay? So it's the same thing, right? Like, I'm like, Jenna, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna go meditate. Right.
I'll do it. Yeah. I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, I could up on the bottle of flame, everybody. Yeah. Then I need to freaking cry because I lost and stop. and then after I meditate and pray and talk, we're like, I know what I need to do, right? Find the balance between both the two ideas, right? The two voices.
Yeah.
It's a mess. But I also definitely are feeling the, the dimension, yeah, which is just insane to be able to now experience the switch when you step into a multiverse of someone else, right? Because it's like we are in a bubble, and the outside is just there. They have manifested, we have manifested, and everything just matches.
That's true.
How, because it's all about perception, right? How do I perceive life? And it's based on my subconscious mind. So if you are someone who lives in lack, is always bitching and complaining, as simple as going to a grocery store is gonna match to you. All those events are gonna happen to confirm to you, right? Yeah. It's just making a call where you're always complaining and never answer. They never answer. I'm looking for 40 minutes, right? And then you hang up and call somebody else who's the same and complain together. Yeah. Complain. In this, when you start to pay freaking attention, right? And so I say now, I am aware of what's going on. Everybody is creating their own reality. I'm gonna protect myself with your freaking cape of electric blue fire, golden fire, violet flame, rainbow, and then say, I'm gonna go and do my things. It's gonna be great, and I'm gonna be the traveler, the observer of the 3D world, and I'm just gonna be chilling, man, and everything's gonna go great. But yeah, it's just
I love that.
It's amazing how we can just see it now. Like, I'm with you. We're vibing, brother. We're right there together.
We definitely are.
Yeah.
It's funny, like some of the practicalities in life, like the human things, like where I've had a lot of bills recently. I had to get the roof repaired on our house, for instance. And you're looking at it and you're thinking this bill, and I'm thinking that's a lot of money. And I was just thinking, spirit guides. It was like, help me with this bill. And they're like, no, do it yourself.
They were saying that.
Hang on, yeah. And I'm like, hang on a minute. They're like, so where does this stop? Well, where does like being a spirit guide, start and stop? Like, are you guys with me the whole time? It's like, yeah, well, we're here for like everything, but you're doing the human thing, right? We're not humans. we're just here to give you guidance. Like, okay. And then it's still staring at the bill, like, okay, but how do I pay this bill? And I was thinking, well, I don't know, maybe something will just, will turn up, or maybe I should like take a look and see what, maybe I can afford it. And we were juggling some other finance at the time, and it's like, hey, that's really strange. Yeah, I can afford it. And I like, why was I looking at it thinking I couldn't? And like you were saying, if you project that, like you'll literally just run out of money. And then you'd be like, oh, all these things, all these other things happen. I literally don't have the money, or vice versa. And yeah, I think that's really beautiful, because sometimes I think I'm saying two things at the same time. But one is that like our soul and our guides, like they're not here physically right now, like our human is, we are. And when we're living this human reality, there's just so much that comes down to like, our intuition and our judgment, and just believing that we can overcome everything that comes in front of us. But they're all human experiences, and they're such powerful lessons. But our spirit guides can't pay our bills, or they can't, well, not directly, but what they can do is say, hey, look, think about all the different ways, all the doors you can open that feel right to you, that you would allow that to come to you, and describe yourself as that thing. Make that choice. If that's what you want, then do it. And yeah, I had exactly the same thing with you. Like my ego's like, oh, Jon, you should like you should like work like so hard at your day job, and you should work more hours, not less, and you should get a bigger house, not smaller, and like all these opposites. And I'm like, on the other side, it's like, no, this is my last full-time week. Next week I'm on holiday, and then I'm 3 days a week. Woohoo! And I'm so excited for that. And also we're busy looking at houses, like smaller houses, and they're really exciting. Like I was describing, where there's one, like, whoa, it doesn't have a studio, and it's like, it's okay. It's like, let go of that old paradigm, because part of me would love to live in a motorhome, or like an RV. And so I'm thinking, if you really believe that, if that's a version of you, then you don't need like a huge property. In fact, I'd be much more of a traveler, with very little property, which I feel would feel liberating.
Yes, I'm feeling you with everything that you're saying. I mean, it's like I think we're becoming so mindful and aware of the things we're doing, that even now, when you were talking about opening a bill, there's an expectation. You see the bill and you are used to complaining.
Yeah.
Think about it. You see something from the government, you think the taxes. You see something from certain family member, you see the name, there's a reaction. So this we find ourselves with these patterns of behaviors, and using the same words, in the same actions, and the same feelings, as simple as opening a bill, right?
Yeah.
And now we know magic, right? Because we see a bill, we're like, oh shit. And you haven't not even opened it. Sometimes we're not even open it, and you just drop it somewhere, because you already said there's bad news, right? I don't have the money. Now what I'm gonna do? And you start to you are just opening this up, and to me, and I love doing what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So it just, everything seems so small, but there is a thought, there's an action, there is a response on everything that we do, right? There's a choice. So is it, how do I want to perceive what's being presented to me, right? And the expectations we have. So why next time you see a bill, just kind of sit with it and say, you know what, it's gonna be all right. Yeah. I'm not gonna worry about it. You open it, it says 0. you know, or
We owe you
maybe-
money.
Exactly. It does. That's the key. Then not having expectation, and even though it's going to be $300 or I don't know, euros or whatever, you're like, all right, spirit guides, they're out. Spirit guides.
Where are you?
It's 222 right now, but we're like, yeah. When you were talking about that, I thought about them like being out.
Yeah.
Spirit guides. But now you call upon Lord Ganesha, for example.
Yeah.
He removes obstacles, right? And the goddess Lakshmi, which she is there about fortune and abundance and Archangel Uriel. And what about just grabbing this bill and saying, doesn't matter what, money flows to me. I call upon Ganesha, I call upon the goddess Lakshmi, every freaking body that you feel like. And then you said, you know what? I am open for help. Money is flowing to me. There's infinite abundance. I'm gonna be all right. I got it. It's gonna be a good thing. And I believe that that's when everything is just gonna match your thoughts and your beliefs, and you're gonna be okay. And this that we're talking is true spirituality, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. This is living with consciousness. This is a conscious magician, the conscious magus, you're calling into existence that is going to be all right. Then it's going to be all right. Right. And maybe you're going to end up paying the money, but then someone called you and say, hey, listen, I have this and this and that. A family member, I have this machine here and it's been sitting. I was thinking if you want it, maybe you needed the machine. And maybe it's worth even more than $300. The bill, $300, 300 euros. And then here you find yourself with something else it was just brought to you, that it was something else that clearly you were not thinking about it. So just being open to possibilities, being open to the magic and being open to the flow, right? Yeah, man. Yeah.
I love that. I love that so much. When because we're programmed, right, to say, you need to join a company because companies have abundance, and then the company's abundance will pay you, and you should be grateful for being a slave for your whole life. And you're thinking, yeah, hang on a minute.
I'm not into that.
That's right. And because one step I found was like, the first step is believing it yourself. And I think if you truly believe it yourself, then the universe says, okay, if you think you believe it, go and tell this person. And you're like, do I have to? So I had to say to my wife, I'd say, look, I don't think I need to work 5 days a week. I'm gonna start by working 3 days a week. And it took a few days for her to get her head around it. And she's like,
to process it.
Yeah, and she's like, this could be amazing for you. It could be amazing for us. We could every Monday and Friday, you'd be working 3 days, so 4 days off, 3 days on, 4 days off. She's like, we can do all these things. The kids are at school during the day. And she said, the only reason I was worried about this before was that you wouldn't know what to do with your time. And I'm like, I have so many things I want to do. And she said, that was my other worry, is that you just fill it with stuff. And she said, the first thing is you've got to believe that it's the right thing to do, and it's the right thing for you, and it's the right thing for us and us as a family. And then also believe that you're not just going to go and chase something else. Don't basically just start a second job. And I said, I want to do more. I'm okay with music. I'll do some gigs and I'll do a song each day. I'll probably do less time on music. I can do 20 minutes on a song. I don't need to spend 2 hours on a song. And some days I'm not going to do a song. And then she said, and the meditation stuff, I said, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to limit it to twice a week. And so the rest of the time, I'm going to practice receiving, which is a big lesson for me. And I heard this amazing quote today. What was it? The universe amplifies what you celebrate. And, you know, here I am, like, largely ignoring the fact that I've, you know, released 92 albums, and I could literally spend the rest of my life blocking any of that abundance, just going, it's rubbish. You know, what a waste of time that was, and just keep doing it anyway.
No.
And there's got to be, and I do feel there's this point that's building, and it might be before, it might be around album 100 or something. There's going to be a change, and I'm gonna find that right way for me to celebrate. And I might just have like a big party, like just like go and celebrate, right? Like don't just keep repeating the same pattern, and whatever it is, and celebrate and rejoice in the things that that I've done, that also echo what I want to continue to be in the future.
That's so powerful. I love it. It's just so touching for me to be able to talk to you, and you know, we know each other for a long time and even more. But to feel how you have a, you know, coming into a balancing of your masculine and feminine energies, and it's so beautiful. And of course, you have a very smart woman, wife. I'm rooting for you, girl. You got it. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. And I think for people who are in relationships, you know, that's very beautiful that you're sharing, you know, you had a conversation with your wife and her response to you. And like, man, like, I'm super happy that you have a good wife, you know, good partner, life partner, because it's important, you know. It's beautiful, the support and support, really. And it's also a beautiful, it's also very powerful and beautiful to be able, how the vulnerability between you and I, that you were like, come on, man, like, think this through, think it through it, and how you were open and receptive to receive. And it shows how much you have come into balance, Jon, you know, and also what I see from you is you finding joy and celebrating your life, and really understanding what do you value, because based on everything you share with me, you know, your family, the time with your family. I feel like sometimes we go and we have been chasing other things, and sometimes you not even know what the hell are you doing, right? It's just like I said, we're like an automatic pilot, and you find yourself doing things just because you are used to have to do that. And now when you start to heal your masculine and feminine energies, and you start to reflect, and you start to open up and have conversations that are so vulnerable, you start to see that things get simple, because human beings like to complicate everything. And everything has to be a struggle, and everything has to be complicated, right? Like all this ego, the inner dialogue, right? It's like, oh my goodness, it's crazy, because it becomes an addiction, to the point that you cannot make a decision. I've been there where I cannot make a decision, right? So anyways, it's very beautiful to see how you're now finding time to celebrate, and to understand that, you know, your life is, you have manifested this beautiful life for you, Jon. And nothing has been, you know, nothing has been wasted. It's just it's your journey. It is unique and authentic. And here you are now, you know, going after what's important to you. And sometimes what's really important to us is very simple. It's a simple freaking life, that we have peace and time to enjoy and laugh, and in a small house, and not a lot to clean, and not a lot of freaking stuff and buying, and instead, you know, using the money to buy a car, whatever, a van that you want to go on, or camping or whatever, and just have a small house. That's how you manifest. When you prioritize, when you're organized, and when you know what is it that the vision you have, right? Then you can have a small house, whereas, I mean, we call it small, right? Or even like a small, but it's probably pretty freaking comfortable. You know.
Exactly. I'd be lucky to have it.
And then you're gonna be able to buy the other part, where you can take off with your family and just freaking be back and forth and enjoy life, and it's gonna be amazing because I know. So yeah,
that's so beautiful. Thank you. It's so exciting.
Thank you for sharing. And I hear, to confirm what I'm feeling and what I'm hearing. And life is good, Jon, and you have overcome so much. I'm so proud of you. We are one. You're a part of myself, a part of me manifested, and it's glorious. And like, it's to see where you are, and I know that I am there too. And everybody else who listen to this beautiful conversation is too. Yeah,
that's so beautiful.
good,
Thank
man.
you. And let me say hello to the people that joined in the chat.
Yes.
So we have Elated Beach Surfer, who does amazing cars and animations. Genevieve's on, the Super Consciousness Explorers, Agent Johnny Red, and
yes, peace
Alex.
and love. Thank
you so much for coming, everyone.
Alex is so sweet. Oh my God, thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you, everyone. Much love. Much love.
And yeah, I was gonna add to what you're saying about like with family. Because I've been practicing this in my day job as well, but like being yourself, like that's a mission in itself, right? Like turning up and like I was if I think how far I've come, like with my eldest daughter, she's like 16. How to describe her journey? She was actually at the Kundalini yoga session that I was at 4 years ago when I had my awakening, and her experience was much milder. And I think she was pretty open to it, but didn't think much of my experience. And now she has like some crystals, and she loves, like I describe as like she has some tarot cards, and she loves like the mystery and the magic of life, and sees much more of a quantum universe than I ever did at that age. But I was chatting with her yesterday and saying, when I said I had a really interesting client yesterday, I was talking client session in a meditation session. I was, talking to one of their guides, and they were like an avian guide. And I was describing this guide to her, and she's like, "Oh, it's fascinating." And I said, "What do you think of spirit guides?" She said, "I don't really know." I said, do you ever want to like find out who yours are? It's like, I don't know. They're like kind of interesting. And what I really loved about that conversation was like, I could just be myself, and there was no judgment. Like I didn't judge her for not like believing or seeing them, and vice versa. She just thinks, well, some people, talk to them. She's aware of it, aware of the concept, like gets it. But and my son, like I meditate with my son every night, and he's 12, and we've been doing that to set up protection each night because he was suffering from nightmares. Yeah. And it's really funny. After every meditation, we've been doing it for a couple of months now, and at the end of it, the room's always like we fill it with golden light in the meditation, and then we open our eyes afterwards. The room is just filled with golden light, and I think it's because it's both of our gifts is that kind of, it's like that channeling that golden light. And he always says to me afterwards, he always says, I see a little bit of green in the golden light today, or I see a little orange in it, or I see the different colors. And he's so, although I'd say his awareness is still relatively narrow as you describe it in the 3D world. When I see him practicing his gifts in like the kind of astral realms, they're like, it's just glorious. It's like, I know exactly what I'm doing, and he like, we take it in turns. Like he starts off, it's a guided meditation. He starts it off. And then my wife is much, I don't know, she is just gradually becoming more open in different ways, like in ways that I never expected. Like it's very easy to judge people's journeys. It's a human thing, right? To judge others, judge ourselves, especially. And for her journey is things like, I want less complication in my life. I want simplicity. I want more time with my family. I want the energy. I want the focus. I want the prioritization. I want to just go ahead and transform my life and be that person and have that life I want, that I really want. And she's just, and she's because I'm usually like, I'm like this kind of unstoppable, like kind of like sometimes glacial speed, a bit like my music, like glacial speed, but just pushing mountains out the way. And she's going through like a much more accelerated version of that. It's like all this stuff is changing. I want, especially since lockdown, that was a big kind of catalyst for her. It's like, we don't need all this stuff anymore. We need a simple life where we receive as much as we give, and we have that right balance in our lives. And yeah, I think that's really exciting, because I don't, for anyone that's watching this, sometimes it's hard in a relationship to like face your partner and say, oh, my spirit guide said we should do this. And they're like, what? Like, whatever you're smoking, I want some. And
who's your spirit guide? Is it a girl?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, she looks
you've
like...
been texting. Yeah. And it is really funny. So but to be able to like bring them into like a human, a human reality, and you're like, well, into 3D reality, and say things like, well, I've been reflecting on this, I've been feeling this, or we often talk more about our fears now. We say things like, I'm scared of moving to a small house that has no studio. What am I going to do without my studio?
Little John.
Yeah,
Teenager John.
I know.
What am
I need my man cave.
Where am I
going to play my drums?
Yeah. Oh, John. All I heard is beautiful. All I heard is just beautiful things, like I was saying. Sometimes we are chasing illusions,
yeah,
and in reality, human beings, every person, it all comes into love, authenticity, vulnerability, simplicity, right?
Yeah.
That's it, like being able to just be who you are and to express freely. Now, when we talk about judgment, a part of the human experience is to judge things, right? That's how you perceive textures. You make a judgment. But in reality, it's about, for us now, we know now that we are meant to judge things from a higher perspective, right? The Trinity is not just black or white, but also the higher perspective, three making a pyramid. And yeah, like when I listen to you, like I can feel you, and it's so beautiful because I just see every part of you is like, yeah, he's speaking for me. There's no more of you ignoring each part of you, even those that were so afraid in the past to be judged, and they are finding so much healing because you are being open, because your heart chakra is like expanding, and you're finding that your wife, the people you care, and the people who are meant to be in your life are there to receive whatever the hell that you want to say, and that it's okay, right? That it's okay. And today, and something else I was thinking when you shared with me about talking to your children, it's just like a lot of times we communicate having expectations, right? Yeah. And how simple is to create a space where I'm gonna just be myself and share what I have to say, and allow the other person to respond however they want it. And then based on the response, then we keep talking and we just move forward, and then we share our opinions. It's just, you see what I mean? And like,
yeah,
right? But humanity, we lack true awareness when it comes to communicating, because we don't listen. We listen to respond, to react. We have expectations. So what I am seeing from you and your family, that there is this beautiful, you guys have, created this beautiful space where they're just freedom for me to, like, true vulnerability, like intimacy, right? That beautiful intimacy. And I feel my heart like it's like opening with you, because that is what I am manifesting for my life too. You know what I mean? Is
so
no more expecting and having to, not being able to listen. I don't want to chase. I just want to be received, and I want to also provide that for others, right? To allow them to be and to say and to communicate and not take things personal, and just and prioritize what's truly important for me, and just yeah, man. Thank you for sharing, and I feel like a lot of people who listen to us are gonna relate to this, because this is what we all want deep inside, like true intimacy and freedom, and just release the burdens of expectations and judgment of black or white, and you don't think like me, if you don't want what I want, then you don't love me, you don't care about me, all that shit, all the stories that we create. So yeah, man, I like how you're vibing. You're vibing, man.
Thank you. Yeah, my son said a beautiful thing. We sat down with our kids on Saturday and said, we're going to put an offer in for another house nearby, and it took they both reacted differently, and it took some a few hours for them to kind of settle into it. And my son was reflecting on it, and he said to me afterwards, he said, Dad, I would love a smaller house, because in a smaller house we're physically closer together. And he says, I love being close together. That's why I love being in the motorhome, because we're so close. And I love when we go to on holiday, because we're often in smaller places and we spend more time together, like outside. And it's like your heart just melts. You're just thinking, oh wow, it's so beautiful. And it really is just as simple as that, right? It's like if there's likely some fear based on the outside of your dream, coating it, pretending that it's like a terrible thing for you. And if you just kind of pierce through it, you realize that, wow, there's just such beautiful love on the inside of it, waiting for you to step through. So yeah, that's
there's only more love.
Journey. Exactly, only more love. It never ends.
There's only more love. I mean, to get to, I am feeling you, the father side, the father part of you, that when your son express it, that's a reality, a reflection of something you wanted it when you were like him.
Yeah.
You just spoke for my inner child.
Mm-hmm.
It's that. It's like when I'm like crying inside, because that's what all of us want. It's quality time. It's just closeness. It's intimacy. It's that. And I'm so grateful you have it, and that you have choose to walk this path that is not easy, and to be an example for all of us, and to that you made the decision to choose you and choose your family, and they are there to receive all of that. So it is freaking healing everybody, man. You're and now by sharing it, you're healing us, and you're speaking for all of our inner childs and all of us who have dreams of having healthy relationships in our lives, friendship, love, all kind of relationships. Even at work, right? We want everybody. That's what we want: closeness and purity and simplicity, and it's so beautiful how you're doing an amazing job in healing, and you have created that for yourself. And now you're not going to be working those, insane times and hours, and now you're going to be able to be there to enjoy your family and your time, and fucking do nothing. Sometimes just not do nothing.
I know.
just be the iguana, like an iguana taking the sun. I just want to be an iguana, man. It's so awesome.
That was me yesterday. Yesterday I felt tired, and I was like, we got home from being away at about, it was about 2 in the afternoon. And literally from 2 in the afternoon, I did nothing. And I almost forgot to like meditate with my son. It's like I had to get back out of bed and like and go and do it. But it was beautiful doing it. And it's like, that's why I was doing it. It was like, it added to my rest. And yeah, I was just thinking forwards. I was thinking, this is a thing. Like doing nothing it's a real hobby.
Doing nothing
my kind
is
of
scary.
yeah, like my 5D resume will say like it'll be 50% of like giving, and the other half will be like I enjoy lying down in the sun, sitting in the grass, sitting in the beach.
I play iguana. You have to say like an iguana, man. Just there, chilling, taking the sun. This is fun. I think it was time for us to go, but it's been a pleasure. I feel our hearts are smiling. Like I said, a lot of parts of me, I know they are smiling. And I just choose to honor, all of them. I choose to honor every part of me, every part of you, and every part of everyone who's listening. And may these words and these conversations touch the lives of all of you who are listening with us. We're nothing but reflections of each other's. I am so truly blessed to be here. And like you said in your new song today, it's always about making the choice. There's nothing to be waiting on. The time is now. We already won. We're safe. There's no war. Like, choose love, stay in the present moment, and just be the observer, the traveler through dimensions, right? And choose love and keep on moving forward, and continue surfing those waves, everyone. We got this. We got this. Yeah, man.
We definitely do. Yeah, thank you so much,
Nela. To everyone. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your beautiful words.
Yeah.
And your energy and your great advice. It's not always easy to listen to good advice, and you're great at seeing the fear that is especially in front of me, and like, here it is, Jon. You're going to choose to step through it. And it's those choices that have got me from this far so far, and it just gets better. So thank you so much.
Thank you, and I cannot wait to start helping more people through my website that is coming very soon. I am able to see the unseen, to tap. I grab the big monster and I say, "Come on over here. We have a meeting here."
Yeah, and you know what's going to happen is you're going to come on my channel and we're going to do a live, and it'll be you doing readings for other people, whatever you want to call them.
Woo-hoo.
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, hell, what?
Yeah.
My ego self that likes to freak out like that. No, we're doing it. We're ready. We are all ready. We already have everything that we need. All of us. It's about taking the steps day by day to prioritize. You know what? Core values. What do you value? And go after that. The core values need to be the foundation of everything, moving forward. Core values. Oh, my heart chakra saying yes. I love you guys. Peace and love. Stay true to yourself. Step in your power and choose the 5D. Love you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Nela.
Thank you. Peace and love. See you soon. Bye.
Sending love.